my friends, is the intro to Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan. Great song, iconic. Just love this tune. It's been covered by a million different people, including the Rolling Stones, by the way. So I want to teach you the intro first, and then we'll get to the chorus in both the verse, the B section, and the chorus. And here's how it goes. You're going to play a G chord with your pinky on the third fret of the high E. So you got the third finger on the third fret of the low E, second finger on the second fret of the A, and then your pinky is going to pick up that third fret of the high E string. And I want you to play this version of a C, if you would. And you'll see why in a minute, because it's a much easier change to start here, and then you're going to go to a G sus4, which is nothing more than this shape, like an A minor 7th shape, which is your second finger on the second fret of the D, first finger is on the 1 of the B. But you do keep that G note going all the time. So you don't move that third finger on the low E. Okay, let's talk about the picking pattern. So it's basically down, 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 up, down, but he varies it so much that it's hard to really nail it down. Dylan is a real, he mixes it up a lot, let's say that, and you can too. To just catch that groove, you can play along with the song. Remember one thing though, when you go to that G sus4, you want to hammer that on. So when you hit your downstroke or your upstroke, it doesn't matter. See how I hammer that on? Looks like a Keith Richards move, doesn't it? He uses that a lot. Okay, so this is important to note on the intro. So I'll play it really slow for you one time, and then we'll continue on. So that's the way the song starts. The band comes in, the organ. Okay, got the intro? Let's jump into the verse, shall we? The verse is G, A minor, B, C, D. So I'm going to take it slow first. So it's just straight up G, A minor, B minor, C, and then it rests on a D. One more time, slowly. G, once upon a time, A minor, felt so fine. B minor, through the bums of dime, C, in your prime, to D. Didn't you? Stays there. Repeats. Again, G. People say beware, doll. A minor, you're bound to fall. B minor. You thought they were all C. Just kidding you. Okay, you got that? Cool? I did it slowly. Now I'm going to do it up to speed. Once upon a time, it felt so fine. Through the bums of dime and your prime. Didn't you? Okay, the D. Get back to that G. People say beware, doll. A minor, B minor, C. Kidding you to the D. Okay, we're good on the verse now. Now we're going to go to the B section. It strums a C to a D twice. You used to see D, talk about C. Everybody who was hanging out. Got that? One more time. C real slowly. You used to D, talk about, back to C. Everybody who was to D, hanging out. Now you're going to walk the C down, and it's going to sound like this. So that's nothing more than a C walk down. So you go from this note, which is a C, go down a half step with your second finger on the A string, 2. So from 3 to 2. And you keep everything else where it's at. Keep that first finger still down on that first fret of the B string. more time. Everybody who was hanging out. So again, that's a C walk down, A minor, G. Now you don't speak so proud about A minor having to be down at C. Set up for the chorus to D. Stay there. Okay, let's touch on that again. Walk that C down again. Everybody who that A minor about having to be scrounging C for your next meal. And this is where the band kind of gets bigger and it sets up the chorus. Oh, now here comes the chorus, an easy one, G, C, D. Come back, little pep, where'd you go? How does it feel, G? C to D. How does it feel? G, C, D. To be on your own. No direction home. All G, C, D. Like a complete unknown. Just like a rolling stone. Out on the D for a while. Oh, back to a verse, and there's a million of them. Okay? Before I go any further, you're going to want to know what that lick was I played, right? That's actually an organ lick, it's not a guitar lick. But I'm going to teach it to you anyway, because if you're playing it on guitar, it's important to have on the chorus. All you're doing is you're lifting up in the C chord, you're lifting up your second finger on the second fret of the D string, and then back down. Got it? So you're spelling out the C chord, lift up that second finger and let that D string ring out, and then back down. That's the lick. And then land on the D. So the actual lick sounds like this. Jumps at D, it's a stab, right? So, how does it feel to be on your own? And so on. So, that is Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan, and that's pretty much the whole song. It is a long tune, it's got a lot of words, it's a really great song, and man, talk about a pre-chorus, you know, the tension of that 5 chord. Yeah, your next meal. Oh, how does it feel? The way it falls into that chorus, I just think is nothing short of brilliant. But then again, we all know that about Dylan. So if you're a Bob Dylan fan, I think this is going to have to be a must-have in your catalog or in your repertoire, hopefully. Now, understand that there's a million different versions of this song, and you can look them all up on YouTube or whatever. But if you want to play it, this is the way I learned when I was a kid. I just played the record and stumbled along and listened for the changes and just tried to figure them out the best I could. My goal here is to make your life a little bit easier and give you some tips along the way, whether it's the strumming or there's only so much I can show you about strumming until you can actually feel the song, because you got to feel that. And I would recommend, you know, if you're sitting around watching TV, just strum and keep that groove going though. It's important to set the groove. You don't want to be all over the place and get too fancy with it. But I think with this song, It's pretty straightforward, although there are a fair amount of changes. So I'm going to go ahead and play through the entire song now. I'll just try and sing a verse a little high for me, but let's see what it sounds like. I'm going to do intro, verse, B section, which is really the pre-chorus, and then the chorus, okay? I'm going to show you one last special sauce lick at the end. So. A dime in your prime, then you people say beware, doll, you're bound to fall. You thought they were all just kidding you. Well, you used to talk about everybody who's hanging out. Now you don't talk so loud, and you don't speak so loud about having to be scrounging for your next meal. Chorus. How does it feel? Tell me, how does it feel to be on your own? No direction home, like a complete unknown, just like a rolling stone. So what I just noticed about that is in the chorus, and I wanted to mention this before I leave you, if you don't really have to stab that D if you don't want to, but I sometimes do. When what I mean is, how does it feel? That's just straight. Every once in a while I'll go. Sometimes I like to do a little jump in there, a little stab, I call it. And the reason I do that is because sometimes when a song that has a long chorus, for me, sometimes it's nice to inject a little bit of personal flavor, I guess, you know, make it your own. The last thing I want to tell you was there's a lick. By the way, a quick story about this. Bob, as you probably know already, I'm not sure who was the rhythm section was on that one. I think Harvey Brooks on bass, I'm not sure. But Mike Bloomfield was on guitar. You know, if you know who he is, you probably do if you're a blues fan. I grew up listening to him, and I actually got to play with him a couple times, but back a long time ago. But he's playing that great guitar lick there, and Al Kooper's playing organ, you know, and Al Kooper was, he wasn't really an organ player, it turns out, but he was at the session, and they said, anybody play organ? And he raised his hand, and he did that classic, and he did all those little organ parts. He wasn't really a session organ player, but he just happened to be in the right place at the right time, I guess. So there's a way to do, there's many ways to do it, but at the end of that, just like a rolling stone, and it holds that D for forever. If you want to, you can go. Probably the easier one would be the lower string, and if you're jamming with friends, if you do this at the end, it kind of adds a nice flavor to it. So you're hammering on the second fret of the D string, and then you have an open G. Couldn't be much easier. You're hammering on though. Slow motion. And how that plays out is a little bit hard if you're not used to doing it that fast. If you want to go up high, it would be this one. So you got 3rd fret of the B, hammer on to the 5th fret, So hammer on, right? Just like, and then pick up the 3rd fret of the high E string with your 1st finger. This is a typical country lick. Now you may have to work to get that smooth, and it's not necessary, but if you're playing with a couple of guitar players and you want to jump in and go, just like a rolling stone. Kind of cool. That's Bloomfield's part there. I thought it was a sort of a seminal part to the song because of all the parts in there, that one really jumps out at me as far as guitar work goes. So that's Like a Rolling Stone. You know, I've seen lots of versions of this, you know, on YouTube, lessons and stuff. This is my version. It's how I do it. You can change keys accordingly. You don't need to do it in this key. But I capoed on the 5th, as you see, and the reason I did is so you can play along with the record. So if you want to play along with the record and see how Bob did it and get a feel for it, cool. If not, if it's too high for you, just move the capo around or take it off completely, you know, and see how that goes. We'll see you down the road.